What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Wednesday. It's a hump day, April 24th, 2024. A lot of 20s and 4s in there. Anyways, numbers are confusing. But hope you're having a good week. It's all downhill from here. That usually is good, right? All right. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh, hit the buckeyecast.com. Please and thank you. If you like this video, please like this video. That should be self-explanatory. And we'll be back Friday, live show, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Not sure what we're talking about yet. Maybe some recruiting updates. We'll see what's going on. We're kind of reaching the quiet time of the year. I know the portal's still open, so there could be some portal madness still to come. We've got about another week of that shit. So hopefully things are quiet. But if anything does pop up, I'll hit you with a breaking news segment to get you up to date there. So yesterday we talked offensive depth chart. Today we're talking defensive depth chart. Every man at every position will be mentioned here on the defense. So let's get into it here. Defensive ends. Let's start up front with the big fuglies. Jack Sawyer, the junior or senior. Fuck, I just read senior. Ooh, it's that kind of day, huh? Start drinking. All right. Jack Sawyer, Kenyatta Jackson, Mitchell Mellon, Joshua Mickens. Buckeyes have 5 defensive ends that can start at most programs. Jack Sawyer, he needs to carry the momentum from the end of last season into this 2024 season. Mitchell Mellon, he's one of the twitchiest guys at defensive end. Him and Mickens could factor in to the jack position if they decide to go that route and use it. But I'm watching for a breakout season from Kenyatta Jackson in this group. We'll go through the other side, the strong side, DNs in a sec. Let's go D tackles here. The 3 techniques. Tyleik Williams is your returning senior. Jason Moore, look for a breakout from him, redshirt freshman, so second-year guy. And then Tywone Malone, don't forget about him, the transfer from Ole Miss last year. He's finally put away the baseball bat and is 100%, had a full year of football only, so that has to help. You know, he can work on his craft and hopefully shape his body a little better. Will Smith Jr., redshirt freshman, and then Eric Mensah, he'll be in over summer, the true freshman. So Tyleik is set up for an All-American or at least an all-conference kind of season. There are a bunch of talented guys in this position group, but most of them have little experience. Larry Johnson has mentioned Jason Moore over the spring. So, and Moore had some plays in the spring game that were big. So Eric Mensah could also end up working at nose tackle if depth is needed there. Again, they like to cross-train, another one of those positions where they do that. But a couple reliable guys are needed to give Tyleik some rest during the season, you know, especially in the blowouts and things like that. Keep him fresh for the late season push. Nose tackles. You got Ty Hamilton, 5th-year guy. He'll be your starter. Then behind him, you got 3rd-year guy, Hero Canoe, and Caden McDonald, 2nd-year guy. All 3 of these guys are good. I feel really solid about them. Ty Hamilton is Mr. Consistency. And then Hero Canoe and Caden McDonald, they're young, but they've shown flashes last season, and they'll have a lot more opportunities this year. Strong side defensive end, JT Tuamoloau is your starter there. Caden Curry behind him. And then the true freshman, Edric Houston. Houston could get reps early in the season to get some rest for JT. So he won't be, so the JT's not worn out, you know, late in the season also. The Buckeyes played 4 defensive ends last year, but between JT and Jack, they played 1,278 snaps. Curry and Kenyatta only played 342 combined. So that's almost 4 times more snaps for Jack and JT. So there's got to be some equal, you know, we have to kind of regress to a mean here between those two. So Will linebacker, you got CJ Hicks, 3rd-year guy. Behind him, Sonny Styles. Yes, I said CJ Hicks is starting over Sonny Styles. Nigel Glover, redshirt freshman. He was the late transfer last year from Northwestern, the Weenie Wash Gate. Then Garrett Stover, true freshman. Court Williams, he's still recovering from injury. He's your fifth-year guy. See how healthy he is once fall camp rolls around. He tore his ACL, I think it was, back in August of last year. So we'll see how he is by fall camp. So Sonny made the move to linebacker this spring. He's worked with the twos mostly throughout spring, but he'll be on the field a lot. Don't fear. He's just going to be in different spots from snap to snap. He's not always going to be lined up in the same position. CJ Hicks started and finished the spring game with the ones. That's important. And Jim Knowles said that Hicks is much better when he's blitzing or directed, given one task, So that means there are other areas of his game that aren't at that level yet. So maybe that's where Sonny comes in, depending on down and distance, opponent, situational snaps and things like that. Now at the mic, I got Cody Simon last year for him. Gabe Powers behind him. He's in his third year. Arvell Reese in his second year. And then Peyton Pierce, the true freshman, he's coming off injury too. But Buckeyes are lucky to replace a starting middle linebacker with a former starting middle linebacker. That doesn't happen very often. So Cody doesn't need much work this spring. He's gotten limited reps, which is good. So that gave Gabe Powers and Arvell Reese plenty of reps at the middle linebacker. Coaches are talking about Gabe Powers' improvement from this time last year to now. So he will need to be ready so that they can give Cody some time off in these blowouts and things like that. All right, now the Sam linebacker, this is not part of the base defense, but it will be utilized. Again, depending on opponent, down and distance, obviously going against the cheaters, they like to run the shit out of the ball, so you're going to need 3 linebacker sets. Sonny is your starting Sam there, and then CJ will be behind him. When you have athletes like Sonny and CJ, you can afford to play 3 linebackers at times. And this won't be their base package, but it will be part of the game plan depending on all the situations I just mentioned, opponent, down, distance, all this shit. So at the slot, the nickel, you got Jordan Hancock, again, another senior. And then behind him, I've got 2 guys kind of locked up at that backup position. Jermaine Matthews, second-year guy. Lorenzo Styles Jr., fourth-year guy. Yeah, he's a redshirt junior. Oh, his time's kind of running up. And then Miles Lockhart, true freshman. Those guys are your nickel, your slot safeties, whatever you want to call them, nickel corner. Lorenzo Styles Jr. was having a good camp, spring camp before an injury. And then sophomore Jermaine Matthews is the number 3 outside corner. So he'd be your next guy in. But it's a big deal that they wanted to get him reps at the nickel. So now Jim Knowles and Tim Walton are very comfortable with getting Jermaine Matthews on the field in the slot or the outside corner. Getting to the corners here, Denzel Burke, another senior, coming back. Again, as I mentioned, Jermaine Matthews. And then behind him is a true freshman, Bryce West, out of Cleveland Glenville. He had a little bit of an injury, but he should be fine. If Denzel had entered the draft, Jermaine Matthews would be your starter this year at corner. But Denzel is a key piece and a playmaker in this Buckeye defense. So Denzel's had limited reps, but he spent it working on his minor flaws and watching tape and things like that. So free safety, let's go to safeties, and then we'll circle back to IGB. Caleb Downs, he's a sophomore. Malik Hartford, he's working on an injury, a little thing. He should be fine. Jalen McClain, true freshman, looked good in the spring game. So with Hartford out this spring, that gave McClain plenty of extra reps, and he was impressive in his first spring. So it's probably why Cedric Hawkins hit the portal last week, and Caleb Downs has also gotten better as he's spent more time in the defense. over the last 5 to 6 practices, coaches have seen things really click with Downs. So imagine that. Downs getting better. Yikes, opposing offenses. Now, strong safety, Lathan Ransom, 50-year guy. Jaden Bonsu, redshirt freshman, looked good in the spring game. And Jihad Carter, still nursing an injury, redshirt senior. This is his last year. So with Ransom held out of the spring and Jihad Carter dealing with injury, the redshirt freshman Jaden Bonsu worked with the ones throughout spring ball and got the start and looked good in that spring game. So that's big for him. It's going to pay dividends down the road. Now, the other corner position, Davison Igbinosun, your starter there, third-year guy, probably his last year. Then Calvin Simpson-Hunt, who's really shown flashes as a redshirt freshman. And then true freshman Aaron Scott, all look good in the spring game. Igbinosun locked up Carnell Tate in the end zone on a couple passes in the spring game, and he should be one of the best players in the conference this year. CSH got a lot of reps this spring as well. This was his first spring as a Buckeye, by the way. He came in last summer. Then true freshman Aaron Scott got snaps with the twos during the second half of camp. And then that was made possible by Jermaine Matthews working in at the nickel slot. So Aaron Scott looks the part already. He's got the length. He's got good size. So this defense is loaded with talent. It's just a matter of getting all these guys or most of them on the field when possible. You know, like I mentioned, blowouts. Let's break them out, take the bubble wrap off, and get them out there, get them moving around, making plays and shit. So, all right. That's all I got for you today. Please visit thebuckeyecast.com, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.